Hi, Taurus. It's Trudy with Virtual Tarot. I'm getting ready to read. I'm going to read for you guys, Taurus. Happy April. And I had tried to read for you before, and I got interrupted. The internet was down, so here we are again. And I wanted to get right into it. So your first card is the Seven of Swords. So we call this the sneaky card showing up for you this first week of April. And so your guides are saying, watch out, Taurus. There may be someone who's trying to get behind the scenes and maybe infiltrate a little bit there. That's what I'm hearing from your guides. And you can look at this and you see this guy he has 5 swords in his arms. 2 are left behind. And actually this came up in reverse for you. And so what that tells us is that you just want to be a little bit careful on your guard this month and make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, you got sort of eyes in your back, so to speak. That's what I'm hearing. And if you feel as if somebody's trying to maybe get the better of you in some way, or make off with some of your intellectual property, I'm hearing that as well for some of you, or take credit for your ideas. Just be aware, because it's best to go ahead and pay attention to what your guides have to say. So now, then again, I want to say that what I'm hearing with this card is that for some of you, if you are going away for the holidays this weekend, make sure the doors are locked. Make sure that you've turned off everything that you need to turn off. And also, if you have like a smart home, you might want to double check before you leave and make sure that everything's set up properly. And that may make sense for some of you and not all of you, but that's what I'm hearing with Taurus. Alarm systems may be going off for some reason, or maybe even internal alarms are going off for you in some way, and someone's sort of got you feeling a little bit as if you're not at ease, leaving things behind. The next card to come up is a very good card, the Queen of Pentacles. So this is a great queen, and if you're learning how to read the tarot with me, and I am giving classes, you will learn about the 4 suits, and so each one represents an element. This is the element of earth. This is the realm of practicality, that which we can taste, touch, see and feel, that which is tactile. This comes up in the challenge position. So maybe if you are headed home, you are challenged to meet mom, per se, because, you know, this is actually the good mother card. And it's also tied a lot of times to timing and cycles. So as it is, we're going into this holiday season, you may feel a little bit put off by the fact that there are expectations that surround you. Now, if this isn't your mother, this could also be you. You are Taurus. And so you might be challenged a little bit with your routine being disrupted. I'm hearing for some of you, you might feel as if you just kind of want to hang out at home and not join in to, you know, leave things behind, and there's work to be done, and you're concerned that if you don't do it, someone or for some reason, you might have issues upon your return. So I'm hearing that as well for some of you. And so don't be greedy is what I'm also hearing from your guides with, don't be greedy in terms of trying to take more than is yours for some reason, Taurus. I'm hearing some of that. And if that makes sense, that might have more to do with leaving the home when you go away and taking things away from the situation. And I don't, you know, what I'm seeing here is some of you may feel tempted to walk away with some of the things around you or within your circumstance if you're visiting someone, and that's pretty specific and may relate to some of you. Again, that's in career. So if we're talking about love in that arena, some of you, I'm just hearing that you want to be careful to when you're in relationship, to make sure that the two of you are fair in terms of how you are dividing assets. Now, for some of you, you may be dividing assets, and that might happen for one reason or another. It doesn't mean you're splitting up, but it might mean that you're splitting certain assets that you have. So not to be greedy and to give in a little bit. Again, this is beautiful queen. This is you. So, you know, you're in a good spot. You're upright. You're taking care of the home and hearth. You're taking care of what you should be taking care of. And if this is the woman in your life, she's upright as well. So it's all good. Now, we're having a big pentacle month this month for some reason. We've got another pentacle. It's a 7. And this is the card that speaks to being studious, hard at work, willing to learn, willing to pay attention to detail, willing to get things done that need to be done. And also looking into the corners, the crevices, really seeing that which others do not, you know, just going the extra miles, so to speak, getting up every day and doing the work. Now, if you are in a situation, in a relationship, you might find that you feel as if you are doing all the work, and you might not feel as if your partner is putting in the energy and the effort that you're putting in. Or are they allowing themselves to rest on your laurels? So there may be some sense of that actually this month. It's kind of interesting month for Taurus. Taurus is feeling a little put on. So they are trying to pull back, take back what they believe is rightfully theirs. So there's a sense of that as well. Pulling back and not just putting your head down like a good little Taurian and doing what it is that everyone around you expects for you to do. And I do see some of that going on here as well. So a little bit of pulling back and maybe even wanting to take control of a situation, take advantage of the fact that you are in control at this point. And so it's kind of like a turnaround, like the tables have turned a little bit and they've turned in your favor. Then again, the last card to come up, King of Swords, and that card comes up reversed. And so if we have some Taurus females out there who are thinking about contracts, making contracts, drawing up documents, that type of thing, this card would tell us not the month to do it. The King of Swords is the air king. He is Gemini. He's Aquarius. He is a Libra. And this is a guy who is very logical. It's very black and white. Doesn't beat around the bush. Is not warm and fuzzy in any shape, in any way. And he actually is somebody that you would want in your corner if you're dealing with anything, any situation that has to do with legalese, the law, black and white text, anything that has to do with digital communication. This is somebody who you can rely on to be very clear and concise, which is all very good. However, he's coming up in the reverse. And so this person is somebody who, or this type of energy is something that can cause you, especially as a Taurus, to feel just a little bit annoyed, because their communication can be clear one moment and unclear the next. And I'm hearing that, which is kind of unusual actually, for me to hear from your guides for this particular card, but I'm hearing that that communication is not concise. And if that communication is coming to you digitally, it can be frustrating as well. But again, if this has to do with property or division of assets, anything that has to do with that, you probably want to wait a little bit to do so. And just know that this may not be the month where everything will go in your favor, simply because there's a little bit of frenetic energy out there, and you're just not getting, again, Mercury's awry. So the communication isn't point A to point B. It's kind of losing its path along the way. So again, this is an excellent month to go home, to enjoy. And again, this weekend, it's the Easter weekend. It may be time to take a little time off and to let things go a little bit. And when you do, not to worry too much about, these folks, because there could be a gentleman around you who's promising one thing 1 minute and then the next changing his mind. That could be happening, and just do not let that pull you off your game. If you are dating, bumping into some king like this, you're going to probably want to just run the other way. This air king, he's just not in a good headspace right now, but he could turn around, actually. Last thing, of course, is if this person is someone you're dealing with at work, you just might want to take time out and reevaluate exactly how you're working with this person. If you have air in your chart, I want to say that you will understand how to deal with this person. But if you don't, you might want to ask someone and I'm hearing for advice, because if you're in a situation where you're trying to divide assets, this guy is absolutely unfair, and he's not a truth. So, just step back, take a breath, and, take your time. That's what I'm hearing. Take your time, put down the situation, put it down, and just take a break. And so you will be able to, if you do so, come out on top. So what an interesting reading. Oh my word. It just reeks of someone coming at you from the side, and you're kind of like, what am I supposed to do with this and this person? But it will all even itself out, I'm sure. I'm going to do a mid-month reading as well, so we'll speak to that. And of course, every Taurian in all the world is experiencing this differently. And so if you want to check your rising sign or your moon or Venus, watch that as well. And the link will be below in terms of how to check that out. And also follow me, because we're going to learn the major arcana. And I have not had any major arcana cards up yet come up for any of you guys that I have taught, but we're going to move on to the High Priestess, and that's the next card. So please watch, and I'm going to try to post more often now, because I am really enjoying reading live like this. This is great. So anyway, thanks a lot. Big kisses. And if you'd like a private and personal reading, I'm reading this week, next week, just give me a call via comment section. You can comment or just shoot me an email. Go to myvirtualtarot.com. You can purchase a reading or click the link below, and we can do something that's much more private, much more personal to your questions. And if you have a question about what's going on here this month, I could see that you might with these cards. Just hit the comment section or go to My Virtual Tarot. Okay, see you soon. Bye.